Well, we were approached, or we discussed a lot when it got to 10 years since the first album. Like, I think we were kind of just a bit surprised, to be honest. Like, wow, we're still sort of having a good time being a successful band after 10 years. We should celebrate the fact that we've been going for 10 years, and the Universal Music wanted to reissue the album. They were very keen to, and they were really supportive. So we had the idea to re-release the record physically anyway, because the vinyl of the original album had been out of print for like 7 years or something. So it was very hard to get hold of a copy of the vinyl. So we thought we're going to re-release it on vinyl, loads of great extra bonus stuff that we've got from our hard drives. And just kind of like we were really pleased with how it looked, and like the plan was really good. And so we just thought we should actually just see. Originally we were like, let's do 5 shows in Europe to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. Let's do like 2 big ones in London, maybe one in Denmark, maybe one in Germany. But we kind of put them on sale, and they sold out really quickly, and we were just like, oh man, maybe we should take this tour like all over Europe. And so that's what we decided to do. So it's not a huge tour, but it's big enough, it's like 3 weeks, so we get to play it to everyone. Yeah, exactly. It would be a shame to not come somewhere like Poland, for example, where, like I said earlier, like we have really great memories of the first time we played this record and these songs in Poland. Like, it was obviously an album that people liked over here, and so it would be a bit unfair to play like next door in Germany but not come over here. So I think it's good that we're doing it. It's very, very exciting for us to be doing Polish shows for To Lose My Life, because I remember this album seemed to go down really well here when it came out 10 years ago, and we have really good memories of coming here when we were like 19 or 20 years old and playing, so it's fun to be back. I remember bits and pieces of playing the album 10 years ago, but like not vividly. A lot of the time when we played the album 10 years ago, we were just like shit scared, just terrified the whole time. We would go on stage and just be like, oh my god, there's so many people. And like, we were playing shows to 1,000 people, 2,000 people, sometimes in London 4,000, 5,000 people, and we hadn't even played like 20 or 30 shows as a band yet, so it was really nerve-wracking. The main difference doing this tour, playing these songs again now, is we're just way more comfortable with them and confident, and I think it makes for a more enjoyable show for us. Yeah. I think we were learning a lot, like at the time, every show I think, or every tour we did, we learned something new and about how to do live shows in particular better. But I do think we also were quite well formed by the time we were touring that album, because I don't think it's just luck that the album sounds like it does. Like, I think it's still a really strong album. So I think we must have known what we were doing in some way, but I'm not really sure. Like, obviously there was a bit of luck as well with timing and like it doing so well in the UK, but I think maybe we were smarter than we gave ourselves credit for at the time. But having said that, like, the thing that you never stop learning when you're a musician is very true. You like, every time you play a concert, you have the opportunity to do something different or learn something new, and I think that is definitely what was going on a lot at the start. Yeah, it was like recording To Lose My Life as an album was quite stressful, because we'd never recorded more than like one song at a time previously. Like, we would go into a demo studio, it would cost like £100, and we'd record a really bad version of a song in a day, and that was it. But like, we'd never gone away, and when we made To Lose My Life, we were living in Belgium for a month. In Brussels, where the studio was, every day recording. Like, it's so tiring, and we'd never done it before, and it was like really stressful. And the record label, they would come down and they would like knock on the window and check that we were writing and recording good music, and like some of the stuff we were doing they didn't like, and some of the stuff they really liked. And it was for like a group of 19, 20-year-olds, it was pretty intense. And maybe that's why it sounds the way it does. Maybe it turned out well because we were under a lot of pressure. But I remember at the time feeling like, wow, okay, now this is serious. Now it's not just mucking around anymore. Yeah. Loads, really. I think we took on this album. I think we took a lot of help and inspiration from the people we were working with. And like, whenever you work with a different producer, it's a different collaboration. But we've always worked to some degree on all of the albums with Ed Buller, who he was producer of the first album. But we've worked with him in different ways. He has different roles on each record that we've done, but he's always there. He taught us a lot about songwriting and taught us a lot about orchestration and sound, and why it's important when you set out to make an album of 10 songs, 11 songs, 12 songs, however long, that you have a palette of sounds. Like you have to think of it like a painter who has a palette of colors, and they're used just from that palette. And it's the same with when you're in the studio. You don't want to give people every sound that you can. You have to give them a selection. Maybe you pick like 10 or 15 defining sounds that are going to be all over a record, which is what we did with To Lose My Life, which is why it sounds like, I think one of the strengths of the album is it sounds like an old school record. It sounds like in the way that people in the 70s used to make albums, like, and I think that's why we didn't put everything on it. We only used the sounds that we thought were relevant, and an orchestra. So yeah, it was one of the most amazing experiences I think that we've ever had the chance to be a part of as a band, because we went down to Air Studios, which is in North London. Beautiful old studio, very expensive, and I don't know how we did it, but we convinced our record label to spend, I don't know how much money, a lot of money, getting an orchestra to come and play these string arrangements on some of the songs. But I think it's so important, like, you know, you can't replicate everything on a computer. There's some things which just sound better when they're live. An orchestra sounds better live. So we got to do that, and you know, maybe we'll never be able to afford to do it again, but at least we got to do it one time. I think the songs, like what they mean to us, has changed probably quite a lot over the years. Like there was probably a time, maybe 5 years ago, where we were so bored of them, and just like we played them a lot, and you know, every show we play Death. Every show we play Fairground or To Lose My Life. It's like, I think there was probably a time when we were a bit bored of it, but for me personally, in the last 2 years in particular, when we were touring Friends and when we've been touring Five on the last two albums, like I've really enjoyed playing them again. And this reissue thing has been a really interesting experience, because I think we were all a little bit like, is this going to be really cheesy? Is this like a really corny thing to do, to re-release an album after 10 years? But actually, like, I don't feel like that at all. It's been nice to listen to the songs again as they were, and you know, the people who come to these shows' reaction to the songs is very genuine, and like they still love the songs for what they are. So I'm excited playing them again. There was a time for sure where we were a bit sick of it, but you know, that's what happens if you have something that's successful. It can be tiring. So I think there was a time when we were a little bit bored of it, but right now I'm feeling very good about it.